Welcome to the Block Party. My name is Seth Kushner. I believe this is a record. I'm not sure. I've lost track of the record books. This is episode like 93 or something. This could be his fourth record-breaking appearance. Ryan Callahan from ESPN. Welcome to the Block Party.
Hey, Seth, what's going on? Nice to be setting records still. I like it.
Listen, that's why we're having you. It's like between you and Espo hasn't been on this year. So, we got to give you the nod. You're holding more charity events than Espo. I think that's the reason.
Yeah, I know. It's still from the original days too, when Danny G was doing it, right?
That's right. So. Yeah, we still count those appearances. We still count those. So I don't think Dan Girardi counts them at all, but I do. Listen, I got to know, things are tough over here at the Kushner household. My first question for you is, can I get your ESPN Plus password?
Yeah, I know, right? That's lock and key right now. Nobody can get that from me.
Is it okay? I know you guys used to share the athletic password back in the day. So I was just going to ask, maybe you can get it to me afterwards. There was something that I wanted to know, or we want to talk about your charity event that you have coming up. I know that you haven't been able to have it the last couple of years, right? Because of COVID.
Correct. Yep. So go ahead.
This is coming up April 3rd. It's at Armature Works for the Ryan Callahan Foundation. And what is the theme? Is it like I'm not a theme guy, so what is it?
So it's called Studio 24, obviously a little play there with my number, but it's a disco theme. So you got to dress up, you got disco wear, your best disco wear. We'll have some good music. For those who've been to the events before, last time we did it was kind of like a Great Gatsby theme, and everybody bought in, and it was a lot of fun. So yeah, this event's been a long time coming, obviously. So the world basically stopped on Friday, the 13th of March, I believe it was. And our event was supposed to be the next day. So it was kind of crazy how that happened. We had to cancel our event due to COVID. And 2 years now, we've been trying to replan. We've had a couple dates locked in. And as everything's getting pushed out, we've obviously had to push our dates out. So finally, we got it locked in April 3rd at Armature Works. And I'm just so excited to be able to throw the event again. I mean, the last one we did was unreal. It was so much fun. Everybody who came had a great time, and I'm excited.
Well, that's kind of what I want. So I look, it's April 3rd. So I go, all right, I'm looking at April 3rd. Maybe the Lightning are in town, because I know Cali's probably not going to have something in Tampa unless the players can be there. So I look at the schedule. The Lightning have a game on April 1st, 2nd, and the 4th, and he is squeezing that in there on the homestand in the 3rd. So that was good planning. How far out did you have to plan that to make that work?
Yeah, we had a couple dates, and I'll tell you what, it was tough to plan it. So it was not only for the guys, because I know they're busy. I don't know if they're going to make it. Luckily, on that note, I've reached out to a bunch of them, and a bunch of them have committed and are going to come. So, their support has always been through the roof for our foundation. But other than that, I was just trying to find a time when they weren't playing, because I know how many passionate Tampa Bay Lightning fans there are there, right? So if they were playing, we'd probably have to live stream the game or something at the event. So that was my biggest thing. It was just an added bonus that they were home, and obviously an added bonus that they're going to come, and some of them are going to still support and do what they do.
And your events, Cali, have always been amazing. But I think now I don't know if you want to name names. All the guys used to be there, because you'd roll into the locker room and you would say, hey, who's coming to my charity event? And, Girardi and Stammer would make sure that everybody shows up. But now these guys have won 2 Stanley Cups here. I think it makes they're that much more in demand. This thing could get out of control. Do you have extra security for Armature Works for Studio 24?
Yeah, maybe I should. I didn't know if the guys were going to big wheel me after 2 Stanley Cups. I thought maybe I wasn't up on the totem pole anymore. But no, luckily, I can't say enough about the guys and how they've supported my foundation. And obviously, I've made some really good friends on that team. So definitely expect some of the guys that I've played with before to be there. So I guess you're gonna have to come to figure out who's there.
All right. Yeah. Listen, with you, Corey Perry, Pat Maroon, Ross Colton, guys, don't be afraid to show up to Studio 24. I'm sure Stammer will drag some guys out there. Now, I actually just tweeted minutes ago that you were going to be on the Block Party coming up soon. And somebody tweeted me and said, I'm sure you have this question. Make sure you ask Callie about it. I didn't have the question whatsoever. It was about a couple months ago when Bolts Jolts on Twitter made a bet with somebody. It got out of control, and all the money ended up going to your foundation. Kind of talk about when you found out about that, and then how it kind of just steamrolled from there.
Yeah, that was absolutely wild, right? So basically it started with an innocent bet, between 2 guys on Twitter. And If they lost the bet, they wanted me to donate money to our foundation. And so they donated the money to the foundation. It got tweeted. I happened to just look at my mentions, which I don't always do, because as we all know, those can be toxic sometimes. So I'm laying in bed and scrolling through, and I see it and I retweet it. And then all of a sudden, thanks to, Bolt Jolts, it takes on a life of its own, and it keeps getting retweeted, and people are donating, and got all the way up to over 25,000 that was donated from a simple little bet. So just shows the power of, not only, the Tampa Bay and how much they supported me, but New York Ranger fans, hockey fans in general jumped in on it. So that was wild. I was blown away. Me and my wife, I didn't sleep much that night, be honest with you, because I kept retweeting, and we're seeing the numbers going up, and we're looking at the account. The account crashed down actually to run with like tech support, trying to figure out that. So it's we were both blown away with the generosity. And it's cool, right? It's an amazing what I think social media can do on a positive. There's so much negative, I think, on social media, but things like this are pretty cool.
Callie, come on. You're not getting negative stuff about when you're on TV right now, are you? There's no way. Or are people just saying,
come on, Seth, you know better than that.
Well, what are they saying about you? Tell me, what's the last bad thing you read about yourself?
I'm dressed too good. I look too good. No, just no, I'm messing with you. You know how they are. It's anything, right? God forbid you gave an honest opinion on somebody's team. You know what I mean? The passionate fans, they're not happy when you talk bad about either players on their team or saying they need improvements, but it comes with the territory. I'm used to it. Trust me.
You're not hearing from any Lightning fans, are you?
Of course not. No, I just say nothing but positive things about the Lightning.
There's nothing but positive things to say about them. I heard some just talking about the team for a little bit, because I just talked to Eddie Olczyk a while ago. We didn't talk about the team whatsoever. The fans are ready to just give up on the Lightning because they lost, 3 straight on the road. Can you just explain what it's like for people that have no idea, that sit at their home every day and work from their house, what it's like on a grind to be on a road trip where you're playing back-to-back nights every other night, and what it's like to kind of get that, train back on the tracks?
Yeah, it's tough. And it's tough to get your feet back underneath you once you lose them, I think, just because the nature of the schedule, right? There's no practice time, basically. Things start snowballing and little mistakes. And you could always see it even when they're winning games, right? You start having these little mistakes or bad habits creep into the game, and they get bigger and bigger. But every team goes through these stretches. And the one thing I could say about the Lightning, that veteran group in there, obviously they've won back-to-back. They know how to right the ship pretty quickly, and as they have, right? So I think they're back to playing some better hockey, and but that's what you got to love about fans, right? One loss, and sell everybody, and that's how things happen, though. That's how passionate they are.
No, it's bad, Callie, because I'm telling you, I keep it positive, because my motto is I don't say anything anywhere or tweet anything that I wouldn't say to a player's face. So I try to keep it very positive. But I got people sending me DMs going, "Hey, I hope you're prepared for them to not win 3 in a row." And I'm like, I'm not preparing myself for them not to. Why would I do that? They just had a bad stretch. I hate the way people overreact. To me, a season is a movie, and I'm staying for the whole movie.
100%. And you know what? These are good. The little adversities are good. Look at us 3 years ago now. We didn't have much adversity, right? Things were all great and awesome heading into the playoffs, and that didn't work out too well. So adversity is a good thing. It's a good thing they're going through these stretches, and learn as a group, go through it as a group, you grow as a group. So it's all good things for the Lightning. Trust me.
Dude, how much are you loving the ESPN thing? And I know you kind of started with the NHL network, and then you got the ESPN gig, and this has obviously been more frequent. Is it do you feel like you're in the right place now after playing?
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. And as you said, we talked previously about the NHL network and that stuff, and getting into TV. I didn't know what to expect, right? But then, I loved doing it. I liked it. And then obviously when ESPN called, it's worldwide leader in sports, right? It doesn't get any better than that. So even when I'm on air and I still hear the entry music to, the NHL entry music, it's still gives me goosebumps a little bit. So it's a great network. I've had a lot of fun doing it. I've had a chance to do some in games this year, which have been a lot of fun. So I'm trying to get, I think I actually got an in game for a Lightning at the end of the month in April. So I'm excited for that one as well. But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I'm learning as I go. There's things that obviously can improve on, but I like talking hockey. I feel like I know the game, and no better way to do it than on ESPN.
What is the coaching like for somebody like you when you're on TV? Because I know that there's obviously a lot of people involved. There's talent coach and all that stuff, and you're somewhat new to it. Do they have people meeting with you, working with you every day? Do they let you kind of go do your own thing?
Kind of go do your own thing. Obviously, they'll throw you suggestions on here and there of things that, how to present it better, how to get your point across a little bit better. But for the most part, they let you go out there and run, and just the biggest thing is state your opinion. People are tuning in to hear what you have to say, not, what they want to hear or somebody else's opinion. So you know what, I just go out there and call it as I see it, really. And I've enjoyed doing it. It's been fun to stay involved in the game. There's no question.
When did you start thinking about life after hockey? And did you think that you were going to be right? I mean, you couldn't have thought that you were going to get right into TV.
No, I didn't. And you know what, to be honest, like when you're playing, I'm so concentrated and focused on hockey. I didn't think about life after hockey much at all. And then for the World Cup, I was supposed to go play in the World Cup that year, and I ended up getting hip surgery. So I didn't play for Team USA. And that's when the NHL Network called and said, do you want to come and do a couple of games in studio? And, at the time I wasn't doing anything else but rehabbing. So I'm like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. And again, I didn't know if I was going to like it, hate it, or in between. So I did it for a couple of days. I wasn't bad at it. I really enjoyed doing it. So then after that, I kind of had it in the back of my head that maybe, that was something I wanted to do is get involved when I was done. And then I kind of had that off year when I got traded to Ottawa, but wasn't playing. And the NHL Network called and I ran with it.
Dude, you're good at it. Like, do you feel like you're good at it? Does it something like, is it the confidence? I feel like when you're on TV, you're on the radio, whatever. I feel like it's 90% confidence. And if you believe in yourself, like you could just put it out there. I feel like you've had that from day one when you were with the NHL Network.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is I don't put too much pressure on it. Like, what I mean? There's going to be times where I mess things up. There's going to be times when I say things that maybe I shouldn't have said or whatever, but I just don't put pressure on it. I go out there and I enjoy myself. And obviously playing all the years I played and being in front of a camera, being captain of the Rangers, assistant captain of the Lightning, I wasn't shy to interviews or cameras. So that part of it obviously didn't bother me at all.
Do you get any feedback from any of your old teammates that happen to catch you on TV?
Yeah, I get a couple texts and, they send me the picture of me on and things like that. There's absolutely times that, I get things.
Okay, just want to make sure the guys are still chirping you're in your TV career.
Yeah, don't worry. That'll never change.
Okay. Now, here's something I saw on your Twitter. I didn't even know that you were this kind of guy or this skilled or this handy. Did you finally build a rink for your kids in January?
Yeah, I tried. They've been bugging me for a while. My two daughter, my one daughter figure skates. My other one's just getting into it. And my little guy who's 4, I just got him into like a learn to skate program. So they were bugging me. I gave it a shot and actually did better than I thought because I'm usually not very handy at all. So it's we got about 10 skates on it, which isn't bad. It's the snow removal that I got to figure out because we get dumped on snow here in Rochester, right? So to get the snow off the ice, I thought I was gonna have a heart attack the one day I was doing it. So I got to figure that part out still.
How long did it take you to do? And at any point, did you think about quitting the project because you got so frustrated?
No, I actually took a couple days of in and out, doing it here and there. But no, it went pretty smooth. I don't know. Maybe next year when I try to put it up, it's not going to go as smooth, but it actually went well.
Let me ask you a question. Do any guys, because, I'm starting to think about it now. My mom just retired and I'm like, you guys are so young. I turned 40 and you guys are retired. I want to know, do guys at all reach out to you that are either retired or thinking about it to just go, hey, what is it like? Because if you didn't have that job right now, who knows what you would be doing? You probably don't even know. And it could probably be scary not knowing what's going to happen. Does anybody kind of call you for advice?
Actually, no, surprisingly. Yeah, I'm not sure why. I know the NHLPA is trying to instill some programs now to help players, guide through that journey of retirement and what comes next. But yeah, to be honest, I've never had anybody personally reach out to me and ask me, how it went or what I thought or how I got into things. But yeah, the NHLPA is definitely the last couple of years trying to work towards that and helping guys out, which is good to see.
Okay, and something I've been watching on Instagram a lot lately is these people being adjusted, like these full body cracking videos and stuff. Have you had that in your career, like where you get, whether it's Mikey, you get smushed and cracked and adjusted, or you've never had that?
Yeah, we got that all the time. Yeah, I don't know what videos you're watching, but yeah.
I mean, none of you guys, but I'm so fascinated with like cracking somebody's, like they do the hip and they do like their neck and they swim it around. Like
the neck always got me really uncomfortable. I hated when they used to crack your neck, but like your backs and your hips, it feels good. I mean, that's part of it. That's part of maintaining your body and feeling good and being able to play and everything like that. Sorry, I got the dog here. He's all over me.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. When's the next time you have to be in? When's the next time you have to be in the studio?
I'm going to be there for NHL trade deadline day.
Okay.
So, yeah, March 21st on my birthday, we get to spend the day with the crew going over trades and see what the Bolts do.
Now, do you have sources? Are you the kind of guy right now that has sources, or no, you have no sources?
I'm not the insider. That's one thing I probably will never do is break trades. Yeah, that's not in my repertoire. No, absolutely not. I'll react, but I'm not breaking.
Are you open to it? Like if you got information, would you be open to breaking it, or you don't want to vet it? You don't want to do any of that stuff. Just leave it to the pros.
Yeah, I'll leave that to the pros. Yeah, that's not something that interests me at all is breaking trades. And yeah, I mean, those guys are on their phone constantly talking to people, figuring things out. Yeah, I'm more in the reaction business than breaking.
I like that. Now, can you tell me what the Chicken Parm Open is?
The Chicken Parm Open?
Yes, the Chicken Parm. I saw it on Twitter. What is it? Is it bowling? Is it hockey? Or is it golfing? What is it?
This is new to me. I don't know.
But you're on this. It's Bucci Grass. It's
When did he tweet that? Because he's got a whole thing with Chicken Parm. I mean, Bucci Grass has his chicken parm for life. He gets it at the rink delivered to him when he's calling games. I mean, he's all about chicken parm. So, I mean, who knows what he's got me roped into now?
I don't know.
That's the thing. He's probably got me doing something I don't even know.
There was a whole thing of, I don't know. I just wrote down Chicken Parm Open. I'll clearly get you the details later and let you know what you've been roped into.
Hey, listen, exactly. Let me know what I got to do for it.
Just speaking about the Lightning right now and what you've seen this year and what you've seen out of them the last couple of years, obviously they just, dropped a few on the road. How do you feel like this team's going to go for the rest of the season? I kind of feel like they're ready for some playoff hockey. I feel like maybe the regular season's just been long. I feel like they can turn it on. I feel like they turned it on in the Stadium Series game because that felt like a big game. I feel like they can turn it on for the playoffs, but I feel like maybe the regular season's just kind of been a grind this year.
Yeah, I mean, I've got all the confidence in the world in them. And as we said previously, there's going to be ups and downs, right? To a year, you're going to go through ebbs and flows. I'm interested to see what they do with the trade deadline. I know Julian's always got something up his sleeve, it seems like, even when there's no cap room. So that interests me. But I mean, for me, they're the team to beat. They're back-to-back Stanley Cup champions, have the best goalie in the world. Top defenseman in Hedman. They got scoring up top. The way Stammer's playing this year too. I mean, he looks like Stammer of old, right? So it's a dangerous combination. But they're definitely the team to beat for me. And yeah, I wouldn't worry too much about the regular season. I think finishing first in that division is definitely an advantage, though. I mean, that's something I think you have to shoot for and try to get. You don't want to come out of the gates and have to play get through a Florida. I mean, I think it's Florida or them probably for the division. So even a Boston or a Toronto, get through that and then have to play Florida the next round probably. So I think getting first in that division is a big thing for them and something they're shooting for. But I'll tell you what, you gotta beat the best to be the best. So right now that's them, and I'll take them in a 7-game series right now over anybody.
That's what I'm talking about. And what do you think about that retooled third line with Maroon and Perry and Belly? I mean, I don't think anybody ever thought that we would come close to what Goody and Coleman and Gord were able to bring us the last couple of years. But man, these guys are bringing it.
Yeah, they're right there, and that's part of, I guess, some of Julian and working his magic, right? And yeah, that third line, everybody thought the depth was really going to be tested, but the way those three guys have stepped up and kind of filled that role, and Kachuk and Radish, they've come in and have played nice, when they've had to come in those situations and play in those roles. So, I think that line will be missed in the playoffs. There's no question. I mean, the amount of energy they brought, the way they can change the momentum with one shift, that's going to be missed. That's going to be by committee. I don't think those three guys can step in and do exactly what, that Gord line did. But I'll tell you what, it's a pretty good 1B to put together a year after losing those three. So it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, especially for the money that Julian had, which was probably like $3 million to get them all. All right, the Ryan Callahan Foundation, Studio 24, April 3rd, Armature Works. Some players are going to be there in the house. We're not going to mention any names, but people that Ryan's played with in the past. Isn't Rick Peckham? Is he hosting this event for you?
Yeah, so he's going to MC it. Yeah, so we reached out to Rick, and he was nice enough to MC it for us, and I thought, no better man than Rick, behind the mic. So it's going to be good. You go to ryancallahanfoundation.org for tickets. We're still selling tickets, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a really, really fun event for an unbelievable cause. I mean, no better deserving than pediatric cancer patients and their families.
And just tell everybody what you do for it. Like you give people they go to Disney. I mean, they get trips, they get all, it's for kids that are going through this. You take care of their whole family, right?
Yeah. So without getting into it and spending another half hour, 45 minutes, because trust me, I could talk about it that long. We do a range of things, and it started with sending families on vacation. Our whole thing is family experiences and bringing families together away from the treatment center and building memories away from the treatment center, family unity, because we've realized that it's not just the kid, it's the whole family that's got diagnosed. It's the parents, it's the siblings. So we've sent them on vacations. We've started this new thing called Callie's Comforts, where we bring providers into their homes, where they do their hair, they do their nails, their makeup. They have a day of pampering. We supply dinner or lunch. Then we have a photographer come in and take their pictures afterwards and do family photos. So that's been a really nice addition we've added since COVID. We've also do a ton of financial help, from paying mortgages, paying electrical bills, cable bills, phone bills. A lot of people don't realize that, when these kids are in the hospital getting treatment, their parents have to be with them, and not all employers are understanding of that. And a lot of times you lose your jobs, and, the bills keep coming, and, nothing worse than your kid is in a fight for their life. And now you have to worry about, is there a home we're going to be able to go back to, because I can't pay the mortgage. So we've jumped in there, and we've also done little things too. We're we'll pay for a babysitter so the parents can go on their first date night in, 5 years. So it's, little things like that. And the best part about our organization is we're ever evolving. Where we see a need, we jump in and we try to help out. Right. So that's part of the reason why we wanted to start a 501c3 be our own identity, is because we wanted to make sure we knew where every dollar was going, and we could evolve as we learn more. Because I'll tell you what, we've been doing it for 8 years, and we're still learning needs, and we're still learning, what these families go through. So special to me, special to my wife. And like I said, I could talk about it forever, but better than that, come to April 3rd and find out for yourself. We'll have a whole program on what we do and all the great things that we're trying to do for these families.
And you know what, Callie could be having events anywhere. He could be having him in New York, Ottawa. I mean, a lot of places that he's played, but he's coming back to Tampa. You vowed that even when you move back there, that you were going to come back and still have your charity stuff here. And we're very glad. And I was going to offer my services, but I can clearly see it's a classy event since Rick Peckham's going to be behind the mic. One more thing, Callie, I can't let you off the hook. What do you want to say to all those little children in Ottawa right now running around with Callahan jerseys? Just waiting. They don't know when you're going. They don't know what's going on. They're waiting to see you. They're heartbroken. What do you want to say to those children?
Yeah, it was the best year of my life. That 20 minutes I spent in Ottawa, I'll tell you what, it was something really special to me. So wear those jerseys with pride, kids. Put them on the walls, frame them. They're going to be collector's items someday.
Did you actually have to go to Ottawa for 20 minutes?
I did. I flew in, drove to the rink, got a medical, drove back to the airport, and flew back to Tampa.
Wow.
Yeah. So
that's your time with the Senator, man. That's a great way to end the whole podcast.
I'm still waiting for a jersey from Ottawa. I still don't have that. So
it's in the rafters. I mean, listen, Callie, listen, man, I appreciate it. April 3rd, be there. Players are going to be there. Everybody always supports Callie. They're very afraid not to of what he's going to do to them. So I can't wait to say who's going to show up this year. I'm looking forward to being there. Callie, listen, man, I always appreciate it. You've been a guest since day one, mostly because Gerard used to host the podcast, but I appreciate you sticking with me after he went back to Canada.
No, Seth, thank you for having me on. It's always fun chatting with you. Always fun sharing everything that's going on with the Bolts fans. So Thanks for having me on, promoting the event, and go Bolts.